Hey guys, welcome back to Next Step Credit Repair's YouTube channel. Make sure that you like, comment, you subscribe, hit that notification bell to get notified for whenever we drop new content. Today I wanted to really touch on one of the number one topics in credit repair, and that's whether you should pay your collections and whether you should pay the charge-offs on your credit report, and how does that benefit you as far as your credit score goes, as far as your credit profile goes, and ultimately how does that help you if you do pay back something that has went to collections or something that has gotten charged off on your credit report. So ultimately, let's get right into it. So number one topic in credit repair, like I just mentioned, is, hey, should I pay it? Should I not? For me, I'm always a big fan, and this is just my opinion, right? So you don't have to take my opinion as fact. This is just how I feel, and I'll explain to you guys, why I feel that way. Settled is better than sued, right? That's my saying. That's what I say to all of my clients, because a lot of people who come into credit repair come in with a significant amount of wet signature debt. Okay. And by wet signature debt, I simply mean something that you signed for or something that they can prove that you did. Right? So something that a collection agency or a creditor can validate and verify. Okay. So when I say wet signature, that's what I mean. Some examples of wet signatures are car loans. Okay. Personal loans. All right. Credit cards. Right. Again, wet signature. Right. Insurance companies, wet signature. You got to sign paperwork, whether it's an electronic sign or whether it's in person. Right. Either way, wet signature. When you activate the credit card, you agree to the terms and conditions, right? That this will act as your e-sign once you activate that card, right? So whatever you spend on it, you're responsible for paying back. So the ramifications of not paying back a wet signature loan that's generally over $1,000 is that you are most likely going to get taken to court either by the original creditor, an attorney that they hired, or a collection agency that they sold the debt to. Right? That's just what it is. So, do we allow something that is small and can be worked out and I can get a discount on to become something big that's a problem in our lives? Right? How many people are getting sued, do you think, every day for old debts that they owe? Right? I pretty much get at least 1 to 2 notices every day from a client, right? Or in some form or fashion. Right. And I can't be the only credit repair company out there who clients are sending them these notices to ultimately they're getting sued by a creditor, repossession, Discover, whoever. Right. But they're getting sued by some type of creditor some way, somehow. Right. And it's guaranteed that's interest. Those lawyer fees are way higher than ultimately what they owed. OK. And so for me, that's why I'm always a big fan of the settled is better than sued method. Okay. Because I try not to turn small things into big things. Right now, how does this affect your credit score? Right. Payment statuses are what ultimately give and take points on a credit report. So whether something is late, whether something is current, whether something is collection, whether something is charged off, right? When you look at your credit report, it'll have a payment status on it. Payment history equates for 35% of your score, so payment statuses are going to be given and taken points. There is absolutely no way to change a negativity of a collection charge-off on your credit report by paying off a debt. The negativity is still going to be absolutely the same on your credit report, right? But there is a way to decrease the balance and move the balance to a balance owed, which will help your score increase a little bit. It's not going to be a ton, and it's not going to be the equivalent of removing the item off of your credit report, right? But it does save you on interest, fees, attorney fees, court costs, garnishment fees, getting garnished, getting your bank account levied, right? Some of those things, right? So on one hand, it's fantastic, right? Because it saves you money ultimately in the long run. On the other hand, you don't necessarily get the credit advantage that you want, but that's something that you got to ask for. Some creditors are willing to do something called a pay to delete method, right? In exchange for your payment, whether it's in full or settled, that depends on the collection agency and creditor. They are willing to remove this negative account off of your credit report. So anytime you're going to settle something or pay something in full, ask for that, right? It's always my advice to all of my clients. Ask for it, right? If they say no, right? If they say yes, you got yourself a W, right? So always make sure you get that letter in writing prior to, because some of them will say, hey, yes, yeah, we do that, right? And then when it comes time for it, they won't. I spoke with a young lady I did a consultation with yesterday, and she was like that the creditor said that they was going to remove it. Here we are 5 months later. They still haven't taken it off of her credit report. She doesn't know what to do. She's still getting turned down for credit. And they keep saying the reason why she's getting turned down is because of this one thing that's sitting in a collection charge-off state, right? And that could very well be the reason, right? I'm not sure. I'm not the lending company she's asking to borrow money from. But if that's what they're saying, right, this goes back to not getting that letter up front. And I mentioned to her yesterday, you got to get that letter up front. You can't take anybody's word for it. You need a paper trail behind what you're doing with creditors, collection agencies, whatever, because some of them will lie straight in your face, right? Some of them will tell you the truth and some of them will lie, right? And that's just the nature of playing the game of credit, right? But my thing is that settled is always better than sued on wet signature debt. Now, if you got some hospital bills or some small collection on your credit report, $100, $2, I don't personally care whether you pay back those debts or not. They still don't legally absolve you from paying them back, but you have less of a chance of getting taken to court for something like that versus getting taken to court for something large, like a repossession or like a large personal loan or like a large, credit card that you left with a large balance on it, right? Because the larger that balance is, the more likely it is that they're probably going to take you to court. From what I've seen, right? And again, this is my humble opinion, right? There are some cases where that does not happen, right? And then there are plenty of cases where it does. I have probably 200 or 300 clients who's gotten sued this year, easily, right? And what I always do for people is in the beginning, during our consultation, I always tell them, hey, listen, here are a couple things that I see that I would give my immediate attention to if I were you. And every month, if you're in our credit repair program, you receive a credit repair program progress report that has credit goals and recommendations up there, right? And that's just things that I feel like you can benefit from paying off, right? If it's large, I'm going to tell you. If it's credit card related, I'm going to let you know. If it's a repossession that can be settled, I'm going to let you know. So my humble opinion is settled is better than sued, right? Because don't turn something small into something large. So if you're asking, hey, should I pay my collection? Again, depends on your financial situation and depends on how large that is and if it's a wet signature debt or not. So I thank you guys for coming with me today, talking about this topic. There's going to be a part 2 to this video, so stay tuned. This is really just the beginning and kind of touching on your collections and the charge-off base. We are going to have a part 2 to this video. I'm going to see you guys in the next video. I hope you come back. Again, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell. If you'd like some of the content that we putting out, let us know in the comments. If there's a video or a topic you want us to touch on, let us know in the comments below. I'm going to see you guys in the next video, part 2 of that collection charge-offs. I just really wanted to touch on the basics of it. All right.